Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm Hannah. Thanks for being here. Whether you're a new face or an old face, I appreciate you. I'm making this video because I don't have support in this arena. So why not me be the support offering? And that's really the only that's as simple as the reasoning gets. So in my life, I've literally had to be in solitude to work on my gifts and like nurture my creative projects and live from my soul in my output and get away from all of the people who want to put their intrusive thoughts on me, like, oh, what are you doing that for? You can't do that, like all of that stuff. I've been spoken to like that since I was born. I've done a lot with my life despite being spoken to like that. And it doesn't matter who it is that's doing it. It could be a billionaire or it could be someone on minimum wage that thinks they know everything about everything and that they can control people's lives. I've seen so much evil and hatred since I was pursuing my business than ever. And I thought I'd already seen a lot before that. And I don't know anybody else who's been put at risk just for doing a very normal thing. I don't know anybody who's been put at the same risk as me or anything like that. And I'm talking about things like when you set up a business, you have to put your address and stuff on the internet and people can find you and stuff like that. You don't think people are going to like end up cyber stalking you and like gang stalking you and doing all this surveillance and things. You don't think people are going to like latch onto you as someone to steal from and to stop you from progressing or go behind the scenes and stop all your financial opportunities because they see you as a threat. I don't think like that. I've never known anything like that. And also, these are people with money. They've got established, they've established themselves. Why are they bothering with people like me? It's ridiculous. And then there's the people who claim to be kind of like wanting to be on your team, and they're obviously competitive. They're not complimentary in any way. They're not supportive. They just want to judge you. They literally just want to judge you. That's what they're putting their energy on. And they're claiming some kind of superiority from what they have or anything like that. And in my case, my money's been stifled, and I don't look like because people just are very logical in what they look at. They just think of everything as just very shallow checklist or whatever they've got. I don't know how people work. Very shallow. I'm just going to say shallow and logical, and then think they know everything. And then that's just like immediately that's alarm bells going off for me. Red flag, red flag, red flag. No, can't. It doesn't matter if you end up in a situation where you end up in a financial arrangement with someone like that. They'll just think that they've got complete license to own you, control you, be coercive, manipulative, put in them sly digs from their own judgment, which is just basically from how far they've got in their evolution. That's how far they've ascended in their trajectory. That's it. That's all it is. But they don't understand that. There's no point even speaking to them because it's obvious that they position themselves in a place where they think that they can speak to people like that. They think that they've got some kind of authority to speak over people and project their their position, their views, and where they've reached, they've ascended, as far as they've ascended in their trajectory in life. It doesn't matter about money. It's about how much internal work someone's done. There's loads of really rich people who've done no internal work, like Elon Musk. Really, like most politicians, no internal work. Really, there's loads of really rich, powerful people that I've not they've manipulated their way there. A lot of them rape children, for being frank. They're involved in trafficking, and they get it boosts their confidence to have that power over children, and they engage in that through shit trail. That's the key coordinator and organizer of those practices. And the reason why nobody's doing anything about Gaza because of all of this. But that's not really the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is, I don't really know people like me who don't have support for just being themselves. I see people around me being themselves, which is all well and good. And then there's me just literally trying to be myself, just trying to live as me. And I don't get treated like, they get praise, they get treated like it's normal for them to be them. But when it's me, it's a whole other drama. The people have got to bring drama to my life. They've got to find something wrong with me. They've got to find a way to block it, put resistance in my path. I've had such an abnormal amount of resistance just to try to do a normal thing. It's made me hate where I live. It's made me hate the country. It's made me hate Manchester. It's made me really have to think and pause to make a big decision about how to move, like relocate, so I can have stability in my foundations, because everyone's trying to rob me. Everyone's trying to rob everything I've built. Everyone's trying to destabilize me. There's no reason to do that. There's no reason for me not to just maintain my standard of living through avenues that are actually available, that other people are able to access, and they don't get grief like what I've had. And it's because of jealousy. So one of the things that I've been plagued with all my life is jealousy. I've had it. It was started in my family. It was in my friendship groups. It's by employers, by people who are manning the finance. Like, there was some shithead who was a gatekeeper to finance last year, said to me, "Oh, all you've got is an idea. You haven't really got anything. You're just a person with an idea. You're not much." And he was very comfortable in how he said it and everything. Very, didn't think there was anything wrong with it. Them's the sort of plebs that I have to interact with just to do normal stuff. And then people wonder why nothing ever gets done. And I'm just constantly firefighting. No one's helping, but people are judging. So the people who can help are judging. And they're not helping. And then it's like, well, if that's the way that you're playing, I don't really want to be anything to do with you. Know your place. And guess what the place is? Under God. That's it. If you don't know that you're under God and your position in God's eyes, that's not my problem. That's really not my problem. I have built my relationship with God. And in my isolation, that's what I've done. If everyone else is sidelined because they've not done the same, that's the problem. It's not me. People trying to manufacture relationships in whatever setting that might be, whether it be a romantic setting or friendship or family or business or anything like that. God shows me what's the real and what's the fake, because my discernment's been nurtured and fine-tuned by all of my experiences. So all of these people who think that they've got all of these experiences and they've done all these deals and all of this, so fucking what? At the end of the day, if you're just a manipulator and you have to manufacture what you have around you and you still feel like shit about yourself and you're still lonely, nobody wants that. Like, sorry, not everybody is a misery likes company person. I'm definitely not. I've been put in my position to be selective about who actually can benefit from my what I'm doing. And so far, everyone's been left behind because nobody's proved themselves that they're actually worthy to share in what I'm building. Everyone's been just too quick off the mark and just basically like remove the trash themselves. And people don't realize that that's what they're doing. Like, it's really, really like, it's really obvious to me and really repetitive for me. And they think they're the first ones or something. They think that it's not been like the 20th time that I've come across the same bullshit. But what it is for me is like, I just don't want to I don't want to be around them people anymore. I actually want to be around people that like to get their hands dirty. Because at the end of the day, my situation is not pretty. It's not like 2 years ago, had I just been able to get the funding that I had planned for and been abused and like slandered and everything and just kind of pushed out of opportunities and been put in a position where other people they slandered me to other people, so it closed off all my opportunities. And people stealing my plans as well and then making AI stuff off it, like, and people stealing my work and people putting me like there's so much criminal stuff that's been done just to stop me. It's just really, it's like no one's looking around and going like, hang on a minute, like no one's asking the normal questions like, why are people doing this? And I never had any problems until I had to get the things that I need from outside, which is to apply for finance. Until that point, I worked in peace. Nobody bothered me. I could get on fine. It was only until you have to share your plans. You have to share what you're doing in order to get the money. If those people are criminals that you have to apply to, how are you going to know until you're in the situation? You're not going to know. And I'm sorry, but the people who think they're all that because they've got money or they've got some sort of status or they've got some sort of awards or whatever. No. They're the insecure ones who are the vampires of other people. And they don't manifest for themselves. They only manifest from being a vampire. The people who manifest for themselves, you can see because what they speak to existence and it happens straight away. What they envision and they're very prophetic in the way that they are and the way that their life unfolds. It's very, very obvious to the people who can see. The people who can't see just abuse the people like me, because it's like they know that they see us as a threat, and someone to compete with, and someone to abuse, and someone to tear down, and someone to take everything that's ours. Like, sorry, but you can't take from people that you've not built. You've not done the work to build what they have. And if you do, then what you've built is going to be taken away, which most of the time, if you are one of these rich people who's been doing the most to tear me down, guarantee all of their riches is way worse than me, but God will take it away because that's what their intentions were and that's what the damage that they've done. Because you can't go around doing that without any accountability or any consequences, because that is the laws of the universe. And so everyone, like, there's no point being obsessed with people who are just trying to make their way. There's no point. And I've not gained anything in my life from being like that. So I'm making this video for all the people who work in isolation and have basically are more productive in their own essence and their own environment. The challenges that spur me on is just the curiosity of the journey. That's what keeps me going, just to keep on the creative path. I don't need to compete with other people. I don't need to be nudged, or everything I produce, I'm very just naturally industrious and productive in the area that I've been nurtured to be in by walking with God. And that's it. And if people don't have that, that is what they need to do for themselves. But I'll tell you why they don't do that. Because it's not a very nice journey. Even the people who there's people who like act broke now. They've got a broke mentality because they haven't fixed the broke mentality. So even though they've got money now, they still act broke. They still act from a glass half empty mindset, and they care about how things look, and they do everything from a very shallow, superficial standing point. Whereas I'm still the same. I've had no money. My income's been blocked because of racism, quite frankly. Racism and just evil, hatred, hate crimes. But I never had a poor mindset. Never. I've always been a faithful person. And money's not the be all and end all for me. But I know that everything I have, I've worked with God to have it and build it and work on it. And there's nothing that any person on earth can do to try and remove that, because they were never involved in the foundational processes or building it in the first place. And they most often than not, they've not been so meticulous and careful in doing putting all the building blocks in place to build their stability in the way that I have. They're very impulsive people. They're very like short-sighted. They do before they think. This sort of diseased people is everywhere in society, or quick to fire bullshit out of their mouths, like the guys like, all you are is an idea, you're not really much. Who wants to work with anybody that has that attitude? They are not good partners. It doesn't matter if they are the gatekeeper to the money. They are trash. They are trash, and they are collapsing society. And it's better to be on your own. God will show you the way, always, guaranteed. And that's it. That's what you have to trust. That's what you have to believe. How are you going to believe in somebody who's got an attitude like that? How are you going to believe in someone who committed to misunderstanding you? And the worst ones is the one who's like, oh, I've been misunderstood and misjudged. And they do it. They do it to other people. They don't help. Sorry, but my situation is not a pretty situation. If anyone's going to come into my life now, it has to be someone that knows how to get their hands dirty, isn't afraid to get their hands dirty, and doesn't want like an easy emotional ride. Sorry, but people like me who've been through all this shit, we've not really got time to be emotional anymore. We just need to get people who want to work and want to actually help me finish all the things that people have tried to derail, and that's it. I've like people have just put so many obstacles in my path, and got me into a situation where I have to get involved in loads of legal things to get all of this bullshit that's been done to me gone. Because there's so many dumb people that actually think that all these things that have been done behind the scenes using the system, because Shitrail infiltrates everything and everywhere, bribes everyone and everything, and people take their money and do that crime, and just think, oh, well, nobody's going to know because the person will be dead, so no one's going to know, and everyone will just think it's suicide. That's literally how society is. That is the default position, and it's wrong. It's really wrong. Yvette Cooper, the dimwit, the impotent airhead, she's a woman. Priti Patel, they're a woman. Why do they not care about terrorism laws being used to illegally survey people and then put footage of them on OnlyFans to tarnish their reputation? So that's what's happened to me. Those dimwits deserve all hell. All hell. How can you sit there and allow that to just be normal society and in the name of security? That's not secure. How is harming women like that secure and safe? It's really, really just thick. It's really deranged attitudes. And they belong in prison. They belong in prison. And I'm going to sue everybody for all the fucking money. Every single person. And people can either get on my team to do it or fuck off. At the end of the day, I'm going to be building what I'm working on, because all of my work is timeless. It's just a question of whether I actually build here, which everything's just been so rejecting towards me. All the doors are closed, or everything is just so adversarial and arduous, and like wading through treacle and having to combat this and nobody's easy. Nobody's easy. I've never known anything like it. But all I know is when you get so much resistance like that, it's because you are on the right path. And as a trailblazer all my life, I've had it, but just never this bad. And they're just trying to stop. Even the people who think they're the innovators, they're coming against me, and it's because they're not really the innovators. They are the status quo. They're the status quo. So anyone else who's getting branded as lonely when really we're not lonely, we're walking with God. You're not alone. There's other people there like you, and or like keep believing in yourself when no one else is, because that's what's getting me through. My own belief is getting me through. I can't really control how people see me in a lot of ways, because people are really committed to seeing me in a wrong way. And that's it. Like I don't give respect based on what someone has. Like the other week, someone in a Porsche cut me up when I was cycling. So basically, cursed him to high heaven. I don't give a shit. Who does that? You can't do that just because you're in a Porsche. Almost kill somebody. You're not going to get respect just because you're in a Porsche. You're going to get told about yourself for being an utter piece of shit. And there's just people that think, oh, well, we've got all these deals, I've done all this. But it's easy to say that when you've got actual support team. If you don't have a team, like I'm having to do a lot by myself, because people are committed to wanting me to go on a different path altogether. One, not understanding what I don't really like. I mean, there was some idiot that was like, I had to explain, like, just do a demo of the website that I'm building. And he actually said, it really just makes me cringe, oh, it's good to see that now, like it's not abstract anymore. When the fact of the matter is, it was actually just like a privilege that he got sight of it anyway. It wasn't like a necessity that I showed it to him. And it's just a dumb thing to say, that a website is an abstract thing. Like, all creative ideas, they're like, you have to make them tangible. But nobody's making anything tangible to satisfy someone not able to understand an idea. That's just some thick person who doesn't have an ideas brain, who doesn't understand ideas. But the way that they speak and the way that they phrase and put words together, it's almost like shaming me as the creator for being able to take an abstract idea and actually make it tangible, because they can't do that. So obviously you have to get rid of those people. They're not really good people to have around. And that was only one offence that was minor, like, compared to the other offences that person did. And it's just like, the quicker you get rid of people who are dragging you down, making you sluggish, is just way better. And God gives you signs. God gives you like a pain in your stomach, so you're bowled over for days after you've spent time with those kinds of people. God gives you the signs, really obvious signs. Like, it's not even that hard to receive them. And like, I don't know how else to explain it, but if you're in the position where you get sidelined and you get pushed out, it's because of you. It's because of you. And that's it. And you have to wear it. No, don't try and claw someone back. Don't try and do any of this bullshit. If you have, from the first off, misunderstood someone, tried to make out like you haven't, tried to put yourself in a top position by the way that you phrase things, and that is snide digs and coercive control and emotional abuse and emotional manipulation. Nobody's got time for that no more. Nobody's got time for that. Be mature or get fucked. That's the message. Be mature. And at the end of the day, my peace still now is from working alone, unfortunately, because no one can step up. No one can step up. There's not very many people that vibrate as high as me. And that is just facts. The work that you have to do to get here is not an easy road. I've said it before. And I'm not saying that to, like, blow my own trumpet or anything. Walk my path. Everyone is happy to walk my path. Everyone is happy to walk my path. Go and do it. Go and do it to get the same relationship with God that people like me have. Go and do it. You're welcome to go and do it. God has got open arms for you to go and walk the dark path, the path of hell, and abuse and bullying and everything that comes with it. But most people don't do it. They don't do it. They judge. They judge someone for being alone. They steal the work that is God's gift to me. It's nothing to do with them. They're just an administrator. They're supposed to just hand over the money so it can be implemented. And they can't stand that. They can't stand that fact. They can't stand that truth. Don't speak. Don't give an opinion. Opinions are not worth anything. Why is an opinion of someone that you don't know going to be placed above the path that you've been building for however many months, years, whatever you've been walking it? You shouldn't. People just think you should respect their opinion because of what their CV says, like, or what kind of status they have. No, no, that's not really how things work in my life. I've got maybe a different mechanism or method for reading or gauging whether I should trust anybody. Yeah, anyway, that's the end of the video. Yeah, that's the end of the video, really. I haven't really got much else to say than that. Don't let people force you to compete in situations that degrade and end up kind of masking who you really are and put you in a situation where you're actually degrading your worth, because you're not really doing yourself justice by engaging in situations and like games, that's not really your... I don't play games. Like, it's not really me. It's not me. There's competitions that I put myself in that I want to be in, like in running when I used to do cross country, but competitions like that when I know really like what I'm here to do is unique to me. It's a unique legacy for me. It's not even... yeah, it's just degrading. It's not even an option now. It's not even something that I'm willing to do to degrade myself. I'd rather have just wait on God to give me the resources so I can actually move forwards. And I feel like I'm being pushed into these legal avenues, like to be used as an example, to be used as an example of how I've been treated, how the system has treated me, based on my ethnicity, and based on being a woman, and based on their degenerate attitudes, misogynistic attitudes. It's just blasé. It's like... all the people judging as well. I don't mind it, like when someone judges and they're actually like they've gone through a path. I mean, like they're like further ahead, so like another entrepreneur, and they've gone along their journey, and they've got some success after like being in a struggle or whatever. Their bad behavior and stuff, it's more excusable than the ones who are just like in those customer service jobs. Have got no ambition, no drive, no ideas of their own. They're just wandering aimlessly. They're not really doing anything for their own lives. They still live with the parents. Yeah. And also like not everyone, like I'm independent. Like it's out of necessity. I'm not hyper independent in that, like I don't like I give people chances to be involved, but unfortunately it always ends up with me having to take a hit, because there's a lot more male gold diggers that think that they can just abuse women, like, you know, they can be sponges off women like they are off the mum, because the mum hasn't disciplined them to, you know, be their own person, make their own way. No, there's lots of really... people haven't been raised right. People haven't, and that's another debate, but it's to do with all of this gender ambiguity bullshit. But yeah, that's a very big problem. And yeah, I think that's it really. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't have that audacity. I don't know where they get that audacity from. A lot of these people, I don't know where the audacity comes from. Mindless people, they don't even think for themselves. They don't have their own brains. They don't critically think. They haven't got really many skills for success, but they're in the positions who can really destroy someone's life. It only takes coming into contact with one person, like the person that basically pulled the rug from underneath me and like threw me under the bus from Startup Loans 2 years ago. After what they did to me, nobody really wanted to know about who I was or anything before I come into contact with them. Everyone just sees me as what they saw. And also like credit ratings and stuff, it's all bullshit. What my credit rating doesn't mean anything. Like It's all just a reflection of the abuse that's happened to me. It's nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with my ability, my understanding of finance, or my ability to manage money or anything like that. It's just to do with how easily and readily people are willing to perjure themselves and abuse the system and commit fraud. Just be corrupt, basically. Be criminals on the job. And it's like they get kicks. They get kicks out of it. So at the end of the day, if people want to ostracize, if people want to see you as an outcast and want to deliberately ostracize you and then judge you for it, judge you as someone who's lonely or doesn't really, not as antisocial, doesn't really engage in society, that's them. I'm actually a very sociable person, but I don't, like, if I don't have money, it's a sacrifice. I've had to sacrifice being social because of what's happened to me. And then I've just realised I've had no friends, no real friends, because where are they? Like, literally, where are they? No one to be found. When I got chronic fatigue, that's when I first realised, oh yeah, I haven't really, no, because when there's not really anyone to come and help me when I needed, like, caring for, really, where were they? Like, people actually got happy when I wasn't strong and doing all the things that you know, in society you wouldn't typically see me doing or being successful at. When I got into a situation where, like, I wasn't able to do the same things anymore, it's like the people who never really came to support me or never really came to do anything when I was actually doing good, they were just gone, like, as well. And it's like they didn't care, really. It's like they got happy about it because they look better for being shit. But that is, unfortunately, that is how people think. There's no point being deluded about it. There's no point prolonging hanging around with them people or being around them people. It doesn't matter how much money they've got. If they've got that attitude, they're poor. So just save yourselves, rid yourselves of the trash, rid yourselves of the weights that you don't need to carry. And just trust that God's going to show you who's actually on your side. And that's it, really. This is actually the end of the video now. So like, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Love yous. Bye.